Welcome to this edition of Wednesday's Words of Wisdom from the farm. And as you see, I'm on the Langstaff farm right now, and Nutmeg and Betty and Wandon, they're all here wanting some carrots. And you know what? I just have heard that fair after fair after fair and event have been canceling. And there's some pretty big rumors that the Brigden Fair might not be happening this year. You know, I want to just tell a little story about the Brigden Fair. My favorite Brigden Fair story there is. I raised up this little kid goat, and I took her in the fair, and her name was Tina, and I took her in the fair to show. And at the Brigden Fair, she got 3rd place. Well, my neighbor said, throw in the old nanny goat. Throw in that old nanny goat too. And I said, come on. I said, that nanny goat, I've never led that goat before. She doesn't know what to do. He said, throw her in. I said, she's got hoofs that need trim and hair. He said, throw her in. We'll trim her up on the way in. So I showed Tina. Tina got 3rd place. I was pumped because I had money for the greatest ride there is, the zipper. So they called on the senior milkers. And I walked into the Coliseum, and it's loaded with people. And I'm like, I am going to make a fool of myself. And as I walked in, I had a little chain around Jennifer Elizabeth, the senior milker, the mother goat, the nanny goat. I walked in, and she threw her head up in the air, and she started to prance. And as she pranced, oh yes, thank you, Morgan. As she pranced, the judge started motioning us to get in a line, and everyone was lining up their goat and moving their feet and putting their chin up in the air, and Jennifer Elizabeth walked forward and stood like a statue. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. And the judge motioned me down to the one end, and again, she walked in the line, put her head up, and I looked into the crowd, and my aunts and uncles and my mom and dad were laughing. None of us knew what was going on. But the judge announced, and he said, this is far and away our senior milker champion. This is the best goat in it. Everyone should go and find out what this young man did with this goat. This goat is far and away our champion. I had to get out of there because I had no idea. And in fact, he reached over and he put, this is the actual ribbon, goat show ribbon. And first place was $30 for the zipper. Well, next thing I know, I'm in the final championship. All the first place goats from every division. And of course, she put on the same act. She marched around and she did her thing. And you know what? She got first. Grand champion of the whole fair, and I never even showed this goat before. And as I was leaving, trying to get out of there, the judge said, everyone, find out his secrets on what to do. As I was running out, my goat club leader grabbed a hold of me and said, Tim, that was incredible. What did you do with this goat? And I said, please let me leave. I've never showed this goat a day of my life. And she flipped the ear over and she gasped. And she said, oh, this is my goat. In fact, this goat, when it was a little kid, was grand champion of the Royal. Not as good a fair as the Brigden Fair, but still a pretty good fair. I said, what happened? Well, we sold her when she got older to a farmer out by Kimball Side Road. I said, well, that's who I bought her off of. I said, what happened? It's been years since she's been in the ring. And they said, Tim, a goat never forgets. And you know what? We got to do the same. Never forget. Whether something goes wrong in our life or something goes out of the ordinary or just we're moved or don't get our way, we should never forget our purpose. And like that goat who realized her destiny was to be a show goat, we have a purpose in life. You know, we weren't put on this earth to have the biggest boat or the fanciest house or the coolest tractor or the highest scoring buck. We were put on this earth for number one, to live a life of love. To love and to help others. In Ephesians 5:2, it tells us, live a life of love. And number two, to lead others to Christ. You know, in Romans 10:9, it says, if we would confess with our mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in our heart that God raised him from the dead, we will be saved. If we can lead others to Christ. The Bible calls Jesus the Good Shepherd, and he will lead us through life's journey. You know, there's this famous quote from my favorite movie, Braveheart, and it says, "Every man dies, but not every man truly lives." You know what? That is bang on right. Let's live a life of purpose, what we've been called and destined to do. And that's words of wisdom from the farm. Take care. God bless.